So thank you everybody for being here on this Saturday, October 18th, 2025, and the Be the Spark meeting. And today our conversation is about friendship. And then we're also going to be talking about the book, The Other Side of Fear. Um, Jimmy is not feeling well, so I don't know if he will be joining us as he has been fighting his battle lately. And Jeffrey is out there living his dream, working with a bunch of poets on his dream, paper graffiti. So he's in Victoria, Canada. So he is not with us today. So it's all me and you guys. And yeah, let's talk about friendship. So I want to hear what friendship means to everyone.
Well,
All right, I'll start.
okay.
Um, I have a I have a long history of betrayal in friendship. So I have a love, I'm not going to say love hate. I have a love struggle with friendships. But I know when I find somebody that is my true friend, like I can become more vulnerable. And I actually write about this in the book because I have a fear of vulnerability when it comes to female friendships. Um, but friendships can be so very powerful and healing. And gosh, like just to have somebody to lean on that doesn't absolutely judge you no matter what. So that's a little blurb about friendship for me.
Mm. Which I think for me, Kerry, you find out, not all the time, but many times you find that out, the people you can count on, the people who are your friends in the sense of the word,
Hmm.
when things are not great,
Right.
when
Mm.
times are not great. And and Adria, what you were just saying when we were just connecting about putting stories out there, and then they're not pretty, and they do, and nor probably should they be, because we're pretty it up, we're just apologizing, aren't we? Saying, no, here it is raw. and
Right.
and to be able to do that with people and they accept all of those parts of you, I think for me is real. I mean, if we're really going to the heart of the word, that's what that is for me.
Well,
I agree.
Paul and Carrie, I'm absolutely in the same boat. I feel that I think the betrayal of friends that I have had because of jealousy, because of this, I mean, even right out there in my face telling me, I've always been jealous of you. This is 15 years later.
Uh,
And so you realize that again you're learning, and a lot of times we're repeating patterns. I'm repeating patterns from my family. I still was looking for my mommy to love me. And so you
right.
go along with the narcissism and you find yourself, oh, wait a minute, I know this trap. I've seen this one before. And then when you stand up and you say, no, I don't want that anymore, I want kindness, and then you have a pussycat that says, I love you. I love you. Whether you're
There's your
smart, whether
unconditional
you're
love.
dumb, no matter how you are, I love you.
That's our
And
Dexter.
absolutely. And I have friends that are there for me with all their hearts. And to me, that is more precious because they're my chosen family.
Hmm.
I feel so blessed, so blessed. And to see the difference, to understand the difference at last. So,
Absolutely. Mm. I agree.
You you just, Adria, a memory just came crashing back when you said
ooh,
chosen family. I remember I was at a festival and a few years ago, and we were all strangers talking and getting to know. And I remember one guy said, "Oh, so who are you with?" And I kind of pointed, "Well, I'm with that person, that person, that person. They're my chosen family." And then his response, which was so quick, completely floored me. Completely. He said, "Oh," and I, because I'd said chosen family, and he said, "You're so lucky. Not everybody has that."
Uh, that
I'm
gave me
used
chills.
to. Yeah, I sobbed because
yeah.
I don't think I'd ever considered. It's it's almost a little cliched now when we say, "Oh, that's lucky you've got chosen family." Not everybody has family, but to not have family and to not have chosen family, I just, I'm emotional thinking about it. It floored me.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a wonderful perspective I'd never considered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think human connection is a basic, I mean, we know that, right? Human connection is a
Mm.
basic human need.
Yeah.
And
We're designed
without
for it.
it, yeah, without it, we're out of balance. Tony, you look like you have something on your mind.
I think, I totally relate to what you said, and growing up without a big family, and then lots of family turmoil, to the point that, a lot of people don't speak to each other in the family, or unfortunately they're passed away. So, like the chosen family, having some of those, but, going through even those heartbreaks of, people that you really gave a lot to. That turned on you, that weren't there for you. So both of what you just said, everyone on this call said, that proved who they were when the going got tough. So I think for me, I mean, Carrie and I have gotten to know each other over the years, and I think we're there for each other. Blessed, thankfully, we're very blessed to have a very honest and truthful friendship, and we call each other. It's like, okay, I need to vent. Yesterday I did that to her. Last week she did it to me. It's like, you got a minute? And I'm like, okay, hold on. And we can be very raw and honest and give each other what we need. And there's times that we might not like what the other person's saying because we know it's true love. And it's like, okay, what about trying it this way? Or what about that? Because we have girls each other's age, we both have boys, we're both married. So we are really blessed to be able to relate. But I can say that's probably one of the only female friendships as close as that. And we're not that close, in distance, so it kind of stinks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're about 4 hours apart. So
yeah, so it creates a lot of frustration, and even holidays and things like that that I would love to spend with family. It gets frustrating because I don't always have enough people. Like, I'm that person that I'm like, come on over. I don't mind. I'll have 20 people at my table. I'll figure it out. So, it's the
Yeah.
journey, right?
yeah, yeah, I'm like that too. The more the merrier, but like there could
The
be,
right people.
yeah, but there could be
Yes.
200 people in my house and there's only like 5 that I would
Mm.
pour my heart out to. So, yeah. Friendship's tricky.
Mm.
Yeah. There's Terry. Let her in. Yeah.
And
Um,
not static either. You
no.
know,
Mhm, mhm.
like friendships morph and change, and sometimes go away, and sometimes come back, and sometimes they never come back. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Terry. We're glad you're here.
Hi there. Don't know
Hey.
how long I'm going to be here, but I'm able to come in now.
We're glad. Any minutes it works. So we're just
Yeah.
talking about friendship and how tricky friendship is, but how beautiful it can be, and how we can be like chosen family, and that have friends on the outskirts or friends like in your circle. So,
Yeah.
do you have any thoughts about your experiences?
Um, the thing that popped up in my head as soon as you said that is I have, of course, the friends I've had for many, many years that are other parts of the world,
Mm.
um, now feel like family, or I feel closer to them sometimes than I do my family.
Mm.
Like the girl that grew up across the street from me, when I known her since she was born. She's a year and a half younger. And we don't talk that much. We see each other on Facebook, but there's this closeness. And I know every time I see her, it's like this magic. We're speaking our own language.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically I remember helping her learn how to talk.
Wow.
So
That's
when I was 2.5 years old and she was a year old or whatever it was, and the last time I saw her was a few years ago, and her father had died a year before, and her aunt And her father was closer to me than my uncles were,
Uh-huh.
because I saw him daily, almost daily. And I remember how moved that I was when he passed. But when I saw her, and she had a layover in Frankfurt, so I drove up to see her, which is almost a 2-hour drive, but it was no question. Just I have 6 hours, and I said, okay, I'll be there.
Uh-huh.
And seeing, that feeling, and that's what I felt from it, is when I saw her. The other time I saw her, is quite a few more years in between, and it was like meeting. It's like no time has passed.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a couple of friends like that. Like we don't talk for 6 weeks or whatever, and pick up the phone and wow,
Yeah,
like we just talked yesterday. And
right.
that is a gift to have a friendship like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And somebody who would like say, "Oh, you're going to be in town for 5 minutes? I'll be right there."
right. And yeah, it was no question. I knew I had to see her because I wasn't able to go to the funeral and see them at that time. Um, and actually my passport was in the process of being renewed when he died, so I didn't even have a possibility to get
Oh.
there. And I called her mom and said, who's also like close like my mom, my second mom. And I called her up and I said, I'm not able. She goes, don't even try. You can come, a few months later or whatever and see me. And, don't try to do anything. And she also told one of her nieces the same thing. If it's not going to work, don't try. Don't try to be there just for that few moments, for that. At any rate, when I picked her and her partner up at the airport, and I had met him a few times. They've been together 25 years or so. And so I
Wow.
picked them up, and we were driving, and I was driving my car, and she was in the back seat.
Oh,
He was in the front because he's real tall. So there was no way he would have fit in the back. We were sitting there and we're yakking back and forth. She's behind me and we're talking. And I could see this look on his face like, what the fuck are they saying? It was like, as soon as we're together, we're speaking this weird language. My
another
sister told
language.
me that too, because we were together. I mean, she learned how to talk with me. And so somehow we go into that mode from 50 years back.
Wow.
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 That's amazing.
So yeah, that's the friendship. I have a few other friends that I've had since high school that I still connect with, and it's the same thing. We know that friendship is there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's heart connected.
Yeah,
And when you share so many life experiences, that those stories where you're like, "Oh, you know too much about me. We can't not be friends."
right.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff, when you've worked through, you know, maybe a divorce or a death or childbirth and raising kids
Yeah,
and all these things that we ebb and flow and struggle with. What am I doing to the joy that it brings? Like as a friend, you want to be there for all of it.
yeah.
So what um I want to say, like, what do you look for in a friend, or how do you know like you're connecting with somebody that on a deeper level than that surface friendship acquaintance?
What I see, I don't really think I'm looking for something. I mean, uh, consciously.
Right, right.
But I notice when that magic happens, when I feel like, and I've had this happen where I've met people that I haven't really, or maybe seen on Facebook or something in a group or something, but we meet in person and you just feel like you know them. You've known them forever. That magic is there. Um, so yeah, you see that the spark. There you go, the spark. Um,
There you go.
yeah, and I'm flying to England tomorrow, and I'm going to meet with some people that I have, 3 ladies that I have talked to on Zoom calls for 3 years.
Wow.
And we're all 3 of us are excited.
Is
Or
that
all
the
4 of
retreat?
us.
Is that
Yeah.
about, oh, I'm so jealous.
All 4 of us are excited. Pearl's just screaming, "Oh my God, I get to see Terry in person." I mean, they
So-
see each other because they're all, they're all nearby London, so they
Yeah.
get to see each other a lot.
So
Or-
that's how Terry and I met, because Terry's in Germany. I'm of course in North Carolina, and it's through the Unbound Press, who published the Soulshine and Sensual Soulshine. And I'm in a few other books with, collaboratives with them, but they're doing a retreat tomorrow, which I am so jealous that I can't be there. So I can't wait to hear all about how these friendships grow that start online. I mean, we're in different parts of the world. I've never met Terry in person. I've
Mhm.
never met Paul in person. I've never met Audrey in person. I mean, yeah, Neil, I kind of know him
Amazing.
a little bit. um, but yeah, like
Yeah.
the power of technology too.
Yeah.
There's I had a conversation about that years. Well, no, I was admonished by somebody else. It wasn't a conversation. It was very much just them giving me their view about making friends online. And then to your point, Terry,
Mhm.
going to meet them. I'm not too far from London, so hello from Birmingham. I'm just a couple of 100 kilometers away. I'm not
I'm
far at all.
flying in.
Wonderful.
I'm flying into Birmingham
No
tomorrow.
way, no way, no way. And then
I
and then
was
taking the train to London or
take to Glastonbury.
oh wow, oh wow, okay. Oh my goodness me.
Retreats
Oh,
in
it's
Glastonbury or
strange
near
world.
Glastonbury.
Strange world.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's amazing because what happened was the lady I was going to meet, we were talking. She goes, "Just fly to Birmingham. It's a shorter flight and whatever." And I realized it was like 50 euros cheaper, and and so I decided to do that. And she goes, "You can ride with me. You can stay at my house
Perfect.
Sunday and whatever." So as it ended up, she at the last minute couldn't come, so I booked a hotel at and I'm gonna be staying there. So and then taking the
Lovely.
train on my own.
that's cool.
What a
That's cool.
magic!
Yeah, I know.
There's got to
I
be
know.
something to that.
So
What was
Paul,
this?
did somebody tell you that?
Oh,
a bad
it was
thing?
about the online making friends online and then going to meet them. And
Oh yeah,
and this is
sorry, Dana.
interesting. No. This is interesting because this is a friend and the friendship has fizzled, so that's interesting in itself. But just said to me, "That's weird," in a very British accent. How you make friends is weird, and it really offended me to my very core. It was a deep, visceral. Oh, how dare you! How dare you judge my friendships just because they're online? The world
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
It's yeah. It really.
I
found
would
it
say
quite offensive.
unconventional. Unconventional is fine, but weird is not acceptable. Um, to say, yeah,
No, I would agree. I would agree.
sounds judgmental. Yeah,
Yeah, and also I how incredible that you can connect with people, and if there's that
That's
spark,
fabulous.
you and then you meet them, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. But you do nothing, you get nothing, right? How amazing that you can meet anybody. Well, you know where I'm
And
going.
Paul,
Anybody.
the next time anyone says that to you, you're weird. Say thank you.
Thank
I
you.
would
Yes.
loathe being normal.
yeah.
Yeah, quite. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. How boring would that be to be normal? Yeah. Thank you.
So boring.
I will quote you.
Yeah, I always said that when I was a teenager. I'm like, gee, I'd hate to be normal.
Oof,
Right.
oof.
Right. Well, going back to meeting people online, I met Jeffrey. He lives in
Mm.
California. I met him on TikTok. And then we just made, I made a comment on his post and we just started talking back and forth. He's a poet, I'm a poet. And he's been here. He's been to my house. He came here and I helped him kick off paper graffiti.
Right.
And so,
Well, and you naturally did not invite him to your house after the first phone call.
no, not at all.
So,
Yeah, and then Jimmy, I've never met Jimmy. He lives in Uganda. And he's 26 years old and he's a freaking genius.
Mm.
And he was just searching for people. I think he contacted me on Facebook. Like, I like what you're doing in the world, and how can we connect? And I mean, he's the same age as our son, and we built this Be the Spark movement together. And I've never met Jimmy.
Mm.
Looking forward to meeting him one day soon. So, yeah. And then Tony, I met her online in a way because I met her through the yoga thing that happened during 2020. And yeah, so beautiful friendships can sprout from the most strange places.
I think it also helps when, being able to do this online and meet people for those of us that really enjoy different cultures and travel. So I've been privileged to be able to travel for the last 30 years, 25 years for work. So all over Asia and India and Korea and, hundreds of trips to China and things like that. So I was always immersed in culture and different foods and understanding different people's religions, and I'm very inquisitive, and I always ask, like, I'm curious about that, not in judgment. I just really want to understand, who's a Muslim and why, and explain your teachings and what are these holidays about. And I find very much more shallow and not as open to the differences where I live. Coming from New York and being born and raised in New York my whole life. But still, the people that you interact with, I think a lot of them are very secluded and they haven't opened themselves up to, just being overseas and just different, look, essentially we are all the same. We're all the same DNA. It doesn't matter, black, white, purple, what religion or any of those things. But when you start meeting people that you can connect with on one of those deep levels that just sparks that in you, that you have that connection, and sometimes it is somebody overseas, from you. And it's so much better because they just have such a different lifestyle that we just can't understand, and vice versa.
Right, right. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about traveling is meeting people who have such different experiences and different blessings. And I mean, just the small time that Neil and I have traveled through Europe and then I guess Southeast Asia, I've learned so much and met so many people that I would never have met. And when people are very like staunch in their judgment or their like victimhood or whatever it is, and you're like, have you ever traveled? Have you ever traveled and talked to anybody outside of your tiny little circle that you move in daily? And when we do that, wow, it just opens a whole new, I think it opens a whole new piece in our brain and then in our heart together. And it's just such a beautiful thing. So I tell people when they like start in on this is so bad and that's so bad, I'm like, have you traveled and experienced different things? Sorry, Terry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
I know you see all these different perspectives from different places, and going when you travel and you get to meet people in their own environment and connect with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a beautiful thing. Like I have still connected with people that I met in Bali and people that I've met in Morocco. And, and I'm like, Tony, I ask these questions and do you see like, especially Bali. Bali is so kind. Like there's sidewalks, like you couldn't roll a trolley on it or a uh, a wheelchair on it because there's sidewalks and the bathrooms. I'm not even
We
going
won't
to go
talk about the bathroom.
there. We won't talk about the bathroom. But the people take care of each other and the people are kind and they don't care where you're from or what color you are. And it was such a relief to be in that environment where people were just kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Karen, sorry, my apologies. I need to take my leave.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry to have to leave early, but I wanted to come and be with you for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Paul, nice to
big
meet
thank
you.
you.
Nice to
Yeah,
meet
you
Nice to
too.
see
Anything tomorrow
too.
night. We can meet for dinner and
I'm not here, unbelievably. I'm literally about to travel in about 15 minutes or so. So I'm
Wow.
not here, but I will come and join you all again. So yeah, a huge thank you.
Oh,
And
thank
thank
you
you for
so
everything.
much.
And
Yeah, so great to
looking
see you.
forward to everything that comes. Okay, I'll catch you next time. Be well. Bye bye, El.
Be well.
Good
Bye-bye.
travels.
oh yeah.
How exciting. Neil, do you have anything to say, or are you just still fighting the cat?
No, he just got down, thank goodness. So no, I agree. I mean, it's just, I mean, with what's been said already, I mean, there's certain friends that, you just kind of connect with and you could not see them for 10 or 15 years. And as soon as you see them again, it's like you saw them yesterday. It's kind of special.
Yeah.
And, and I think like somebody else said, I mean, your best friends are typically not your family members for obvious reasons. But it's good to have people in your life that you either grew up with or you share some similar type journeys in life and you just kind of click with them. And it's really good to have people like that in your life you can talk to and enjoy your life with them, but also almost more importantly, talk to them when times are not good and they can help you and support you and that kind of thing. So I agree with everything's been said. It's pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
I was listening while the cat was all over the place. So, but that's about it.
He's a mess.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I had worked, the way I got to Germany was through the US military, and I worked for 21 years on a base. And we had people, of course, from all over the United States, active duty and civilians and family members and all that. And then all the local national employees, all the German, well, not all German, but we had people from all different nationalities that lived in Germany who worked for the military. Actually met my husband that way. So there were so many people and they move in and out. And of course the military people go away. And sometimes you keep in touch, sometimes you don't. I have friends on Facebook that I worked with 20 years ago that we still see from time to time. Don't know if we'll ever see each other again. We may not be that close, but at least we have that connection.
Yeah. That's definitely the one beautiful thing about Facebook or any of this social media.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, I don't think I would have met any of you without social media.
It's true.
Well,
Right.
Neil, I did go to high school with him.
Well, and back then that's how you met people. It was strange if you, or unusual if you met somebody or had a partner who was from a different city or state, or maybe
Yeah.
a different city, but we always met in person.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Which is a beautiful thing too, because you get to feel energy, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That is a little different online. And that energy changes. That's why we have, that's why our friends evolve and our circles evolve. And, if I think about, oh my God, what year is it? If I think about my friendship circle in like 2010, it looked a whole lot different.
Hmm.
But I realized also that there was a whole lot of shallowness in that friendship.
Hmm.
I had a lot of friends, but there wasn't the depth that I require nowadays. So,
And I'm a little surprised by I traveled the world like like you guys have and like Tony did and you Terry and the as in my profession to me it was part of being a professional to be very kind to your colleagues because you form a group of people that are going to perform and it's very intense and in 10 minutes you're sweating all over each other and, and getting ready to do a performance but then to find that these people that I was kind to 30 years later reconnect with me and are remembering the kindness and I'm so surprised because part of me was I was doing my job even when you had a difficult director who was divisive and I was the one who was trying to do this
mhm.
and I'm learning to appreciate that unusualness that things that I performed, I don't know, 20 years ago in Australia. But then 5 years ago, I meet someone else. My best friend is two of my best friends are in Australia. One of them is from 1995 when we
Oh, wow.
first met each other, and the other one is just 5 years ago. And they're so dear to me. And it is the links that we choose. You know, which wolf do you choose?
Yes.
The good wolf or the bad wolf? And when you choose the good wolf, the ones who have an open heart are going to appreciate it, and they'll still be there. And it's a wonderful, surprising thing to me. It really is beautiful. It really
It
is
is.
beautiful. I think we're so lucky. And to have an international view, you know, when I went to Italy to study and to live there for a while, I thought I knew how to speak Italian. Baloney. I did not know how to speak Italian. And I've everyone should feel like an idiot at least a several months in their lives, because you realize, wait a minute, I have such grace in my language, I can't even say thank you, that's wonderful, I don't really want that, because I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
And then to grow into it and to understand with the language more of the populace, it's just incredible. What an education. What an
Yes.
education.
Yes.
And it enlarges our vibrations that we send out in the world.
I agree.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And our pussycats, listen, mine is Precious, her name is Precious, and she makes commentary. At least yours is being quiet.
Oh,
Neil,
he has
yours is being what, mine talks.
he
So-
he has a voice.
oh, he does. He
Yeah.
has a voice when he's in the mood.
We
Okay.
actually have 4.
Well,
Oh,
Our loudest one just passed away.
oh,
She was a Siamese,
oh, the
the tabby white
Siamese. Oh,
Siamese.
yes. Oh, they sing arias. They don't just talk.
Yeah, I think it kind of leads us into a different kind of friendship. You know, talk about choosing your friendships. Well,
Yeah.
Dexter here, he chose me. I found him under a truck,
Oh,
and he was like this big,
oh.
and he's been such.
The little, he says, yes, yes, yes. Look at me, look at me.
oh goodness.
But I think about my German Shepherd that passed away, which the book is dedicated to, and
Yeah.
you know, and they're a family, but we chose them,
Yes.
and
And they chose us
they chose us.
as well.
Jax definitely chose me over our entire family. Like, I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
had
I remember him
showed
seeing
up in
you
our
on the
yard.
first meeting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He was a special friend that will never be replaced for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Penny, our cat, showed up in the yard. We had lost our previous cat a year, was 6 months earlier. And she was probably about 4 months old, just showed up in the yard and she was looking like,
Like that?
you know, she-
Like this.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Who are you? And, you know, I talked to her and didn't know where she came from. I asked neighbors around, but nobody knew where she came from. And then yeah, we kept saying if she continues to hang around, she's going to be ours.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
she chose you. She found
Yeah,
you.
that's it. She chose you.
Found her way here. So
Carrie, I was gonna say that when you said about, you didn't invite him to your house the first time you met him.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, but unless you're a cat or a dog, and then that's it. Carrie's like, nothing. She does not need an invitation. She does not need a formal intro at all. Dirty, grungy, under a truck, didn't matter. Carrie's
Didn't
like,
matter.
oh,
You're
it's
coming home
okay,
with
I got
me.
it. You gotta come home. Yeah. And poor Neil just had to accept it.
Had a deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, here. Well, there is a guy giving away puppies on the side of the road yesterday when we stopped to get gas when we were driving back. And I was like, I'm like, oh, don't
Nope.
even go look. Could you imagine me bringing a dog home from the beach? Neil being like,
You could have.
Yeah, but you're awful good at picking out other family members. So,
yeah. Does
Yeah.
that mean you?
kinda.
Oh goodness. Well, let's wrap up friendship and let's talk about the book on fear. unless anybody has anything else left to say about friendship, excuse me. I just have to say that I'm grateful for all my friends, whether they're, you know, out here in the ethers during most of my life, or if they're right beside me, like Tony is, one of those people I can just pick up the phone and call at any time, and no matter what, she picks up the phone or says, "Hey, I'll call you back in a minute." That all those friendships. I mean, and meeting all of you guys and being a part of this book is just, it means so much to me, and I'm very grateful for that. So, all right, let's get to the other side of fear. So, I'm going to show you the two books real quick. And this one is the Amazon book, and I like the sizes are a little different, and so it makes the center of this one off, but this one came from lulu.com.
Okay.
And this one is, like I said, I think this one is printed better. But I like the paper in this one better. So anyway, so that's why I got a couple unprinted, and I'm still working on Ingram Spark. But I just want to show you like the inside.
Pretty.
Um, this is Jeffrey's piece. And I tried to start everybody's first page
Yes.
on this side of the page. I just
Yep.
think it looks good. And then let's see. Well, there just happened to pop up another Jeffrey. Jeffrey must be thinking about us. So everybody has a picture and their bio, and then all of their social media links that they wanted to share. And then I will show you guys so there's the table of contents, and that's what that looks like.
Yep.
So there's like 2.5 pages,
Lovely.
table of contents. And then I'm just gonna, excuse me, not sure if it's allergies or what's going on today. So Tony, I sent her the book and she read through it too, and she gave me a word of advice because the last page was thanking Karen, who did, she read over it, made sure everything was grammatically correct, etc. So that was the last page, but Tony's like, "Hey, you need to end this book with something from you." So I'm going to read to you guys what I wrote in the last page. Final fearless thought. I do not say that you have no right to feel fear, but I do believe that no one deserves to live in fear. This is what the universe handed me on that fateful day in 2019 and demanded I share with the world. It begins with you. It begins with me. Allow fear to no longer embody the humanity in our world so we can live in love, peace, and joy among our fellow humans. Here is where you take that deep breath. Exhale. Your journey has just begun. So that is the ending of the book. Because in the first part, I invite everybody to breathe during this book as you read. Terry says, I like the difference between feeling fear and living in fear.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to get at, right? Because I think when we live in fear, which is something I talk about profoundly, it is a choice. Yeah.
Mhm.
When we live in fear, it's just below the surface of our skin, right? And it's just waiting to come out so we can be reactive to whatever it is that's going on. But when we access fear, when we need it, like a bear in the yard and you're running away from a bear, that's a whole different gift to us. We have to have that kind of fear because it initiates us to free ourselves from a situation. But living in fear, it's a whole nother ballgame. And I don't think most of us even realize when we live from that place of fear, especially in the political, economic, blah, blah, blah society we live in today. And I think that's what really spoke to me to like dig into fear and really preach it to people, because a lot of people live in denial too, which is another whole low vibrational way of being. Or they're ashamed that they're scared of something, which is another low vibrate. Like it layers itself.
Or fear of the unknown.
Well, that's our biggest fear, right?
What might happen?
Yeah.
Like, what, I don't know what's going to happen if this doesn't work, or, you know, fear of what might happen tomorrow or whatever. And you can't live like that.
What is the percentage of people who live in anxiety in our world today, who is on anxiety meds, as opposed to, you know, when we were growing up? I think all of us are Gen X, right? Or maybe in the era. And people didn't have, if they had anxiety, it didn't, what's the word, show, I guess, as it does today. So that's what I want to heal. That's what I desire to heal in our world, where as a parent, I'm not raising my children, and I hope I don't think I have. And Neil can speak to this, hopefully. I don't think I've raised my children in fear. And so many people do nowadays. You can't do this. You have to watch out for this, and all the isms and all the phobias and all the da 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 da. And we don't live in the present, where true joy, connection, hope, peace lives. We're
That's all
always
we've
living.
got.
Yeah. We're always living in the past or the future, and we're just like, everything's bubbling all the time. And it's time that we like take that breath and go, I'm safe, I'm here. Like, I talked to my mom about this too, you know, when she talks about her anxiety, when I see it, you know, start living in her body, I'm like, breathe and tell yourself I'm safe and I got this. Makes such a huge difference.
I can go back and remember my mom, the way she talked about things. She's told us not to talk to strangers, but she didn't show that fear. She just said, don't do that. Some people are not nice. But there was no dwelling on what might happen if we talk to a stranger or
Right.
whatever. And so at an early age, I learned not to be afraid of people, but to be cautious.
Right. Awareness.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the difference in instilling fear and instilling awareness, because we have to be aware. Like, there's sex traffickers and there's kidnappers and there's just mean people in this world. Bless their heart, because you know they live in fear constantly,
Guaranteed.
or they wouldn't be who they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like when fear landed in my lap that day, sitting in that workshop, I was like, whoa, you know, like it felt like this massive bolt of energy. And I was I was very reactive to it. And not that I'm not reactive today, but man, I can see it, I can feel it, I can smell it, you know, and I'm like, and I've been told many, many times, you cannot say that. You cannot say that. And I'm like, I'm not only going to say it, we're going to write a freaking book about it. Right. And we did.
I like how you said kidnappers, because it reminded me when I was a kid, like 6, 7 years old, my parents, the teachers would say, there's a kidnapper. There might be a kidnapper in our neighborhood, but we didn't know what that meant. We just thought somebody might take us, and that was enough. And some 20 years later, I remember talking to some of my neighbors or people who grew up in my neighborhood, and they said, remember when there was that child molester in the neighborhood? And I thought, oh, that's true. It was probably a child molester, but they didn't tell us that.
Right. Well, because you didn't need to know like all the gory details as a 6-year-old, right?
Mm.
You just need to go, hey, when you see somebody that doesn't belong in our neighborhood, you need to just be cautious and go find an adult. Now, this person may be the sweetest person you've ever met, but they may not be.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
the awareness.
It reminds me of the kindergarten cop. Stranger, stranger.
Oh my gosh, when we talk about movies, so I just did a TikTok on this before we met. I don't know what landed with me this morning, but the movie Monsters Inc.
Oh,
And oh my gosh, Audria,
yeah.
go rent the movie or find it on
Really?
Netflix or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
So it is a kids movie,
Okay.
and the story is that they are harvesting energy for their world based on scaring the children.
Ooh.
There's a world of monsters, and they
Wow.
sneak through the closet door, of course, and they look, I got chills all over me. Um, and so they're perpetuating their energy based on fear, which I
Ooh.
think this world does very
Yeah.
much so, like
Yeah.
the media and blah blah blah. Anyway, but ultimately, after this little girl sneaks in and changes like the whole concept of this monster world, they realize that laughter and love and joy is actually very much more powerful than fear. And so the monsters start doing comedy shows in the middle of the night with these kids and like I'm like, what a great lesson for this world. Like everybody should go watch Monsters
I'm
Inc.
gonna watch it for sure.
You gotta watch it 'cause it is the cutest. And it really, I mean, it's true. It's true. And especially if you've studied the vibrational chart and yeah, yeah. So that landed with me this morning. I was like, we need to watch that again tonight, Neil.
That's one of the best Pixar movies ever.
I think so too.
Wonderful. I can't wait to watch it.
It really is. Thank goodness we bought them all. Like all the major DVDs we bought, we still have a DVD player because we know that, even though you can get some things on Netflix, there's so many things in Disney being Disney. I'm sure they're going to, take
Yeah.
them back again and put them out and
Exactly. So that they
charge
can put them
money.
out again.
Exactly. And I was like, I want our grandkids to be
Yeah.
able to watch. So we have probably 90% of every Disney and Pixar movie ever.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those that are, and they all have adult content in them if you watch them, like Shrek. Oh my gosh, the adult
Oh.
content in Shrek. But I don't know. There was something about Monsters Inc. that just like you fall in love with monsters, and which is another lesson, right? Like when somebody puts on somebody's being that they're demonic or mean or
Yeah.
but then you get to know them and they're kind of lovable and they're kind of warm and cozy and yeah. So lots of lessons in Monsters Inc. That's a
Yeah.
crazy tangent, but
I would love to stick here, but I've got to run. So good to see you all.
Thank you, Terry. Safe travels. I can't wait to hear
Safe
about the
travels,
retreat.
indeed.
Hug everybody for me.
I will. I will.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, what a great conversation we've had today.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yep. So next month, I don't even know what the conversation is about. I can't see my chart. But it'll be the third Saturday of November, and this book will have been out for like 3 weeks plus, and we'll see how it's doing. So any final thoughts? Guys, get The Other Side of Fear, October 27th, if you're listening to this. It'll be on
Yeah.
Amazon for sure, and Neil is going to help me put it on Ingram Spark
Great.
maybe today.
Hopefully. Yep.
Yay.
Well, I love something that Les Brown said. He said, most of us are not living our dreams only because we're living our fears.
Yes.
And when I remember reading that, it went zoom. I went, ooh, ooh, pay attention, Audria. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that we just have to walk through it. And sometimes the monsters are a lot closer than outside of the house. I had a few on the inside. But even those monsters are very, very wounded. And those are the ones that helped me become who I am because I chose to react the opposite way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Encourage.
It's always a choice.
Everything's a choice.
It's a choice.
Everything's And there's quotes in this book. I think there's quotes on faith and on courage and just
Yeah.
like the concept of fear. Like,
And they're beautiful.
yeah, such great quotes.
I think we put something out really good, Carrie. Thank you. It's wonderful.
I got so many chills.
Head magnet, right? That's you.
Yes.
Got your little horseshoe magnet there.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna send this book to people. I'm gonna
Yes.
send it to President Trump. I'm sending it to Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
I'm sending it to people who speak to me, and hopefully, like, if y'all have ideas, let me know. I'm gonna send it out, and we're gonna see what happens. Because this is good, powerful stuff that
And maybe we ought to do an audiobook, just an idea. I'm going to do that with my new book is coming out in December. You Are the Artist of Your Life. And I really, yeah, I think
Are you
audio
gonna read
because
it?
people listen, you know?
Are you gonna read it?
Yes, I am. I am,
Exciting.
definitely.
All
Definitely.
right.
Mhm.
Let me get the ebook figured out first.
Yes. That's the truth.
We should get Zachary to read it. Our son has the best, like, deep,
Oh, beautiful.
powerful voice, but
Beautiful, beautiful.
we'll see.
Wonderful.
That's a great idea. So, Tony, you have any final thoughts?
Just absorbing it all.
Yeah. Every time I leave these conversations, there's just a feeling of hope
Yeah.
and love and being held in these conversations. So that's why we're here, right?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Myers, any final thoughts from you?
I just want to borrow Tony's DVD collection.
Neil, I will happily bring it. And I've got
Okay.
like, remember those old school big books, that had all the slots for
Mhm.
them? I think we've got 5. So we separated out
Wow.
Christmas because gotta have every Christmas one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think this week we'll be watching Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus 2. Anything for
yes.
Halloween we can find. Yeah. Well, I think maybe we're gonna start binging those tomorrow.
Practical Magic. That's a good one too.
Mm,
Yes, that is a good one. Yeah, I heard they're coming out with Practical Magic 2.
2026.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes.
It's in the works. Yep.
Can't wait.
Cool.
That's one of my favorites.
All right. Neil, we said we're going to come visit. Carrie and I were just talking about it. Based on your schedule and everything, we're going to try to figure out how to make a plan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you.
Solidify those friendships.
Exactly.
There's nothing like a good friend.
Yep.
All right. Well, my final thoughts are I just am just over the moon grateful for each of these authors, each of my friends, and everybody who has shown up for the Be the Spark movement, and for me and my family, and one more time, I'm going to show you guys The Other Side of Fear. Like, it's a real book, right? It's a thing. It's a thing. All right, October 27th, which just so happens to be my 55th birthday. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Woo-hoo!
let's do this thing.
Yay.
All right. Thank you all so much. And I'm just going to send you love, light, friendship, and fearlessness out into the world.
Thank you all.
All right.
Pleasure meeting you, Audria. Bye, Neil.
Bye, you guys.
See ya.
Take care.
Bye, Meg.
Thank you.